Good morning. It is the 1st of September. Another video. Another upload spam. Today's video is going to be about, is Japan relevant? This topic is taking over the gaming interwebs of YouTube. And honestly, everybody is all over the place. You got Icy Rhythm saying no, you got Black Bond, probably with the most sound video out there, saying it's not that it's not relevant, it's just not as dominant as it used to be. You got Michael Link, he's probably the second most sound video on this topic, and I think We Lover made a video, but we all know how We Lover does his vids, so let's just leave that alone. These are just my thoughts on the thing. Look, is Japan relevant? Yes, but let's get this straight, people. When Icy Rhythms was talking about Japan, he was talking about Japan as a whole, not as an individual company. So every time I see, like yesterday when I saw Michael Link, I think Michael Link put his video out yesterday, I saw We Lover comment and he's talking about Nintendo. I'm like, dude, Japan as a whole, are they relevant? One company cannot save an entire country. Okay? One company can't save an entire country. Now, sure, Nintendo makes a lot of money. They make a lot of money. But what about Square Enix and Capcom and Atlas and all these other Japanese game developers that sometimes they shine like Nintendo and then other times they fall long below the bar, like Capcom. Like Capcom, we all know, has been having problems in the past like 2 months or something like that. Past 2 months. Because they suffer from the same mentality that all these other Japanese developers are suffering from. The same stagnant 1990s, 1980s mindset of last generation and the generation before that. They're still suffering from the same mindset that just does not work. And then when they try to appease to the West, sometimes it works, like in Bayonetta, which is kind of just like Devil May Cry, so that was pretty easy to accept over here, I guess, if you want to say that. Bayonetta, it's just like Devil May Cry. Vanquish is easy to accept over here, but that also leads to another reason why I think they're not as relevant per se on the West. What other games? Sans Nintendo. Let's just move Nintendo out of the way and we'll get back. We'll bring them back in. What other games? Gosh. Fuck. Oh, Quantum Theory. Like, you know, it was pretty much Gears of War. See, when Japan tries to appeal to the West, and when they try to appeal to the West and they actually just copy everything, it does not work. Now, when they try to appeal to the West and still have a Japanese flavor to it, then it works. But then if the game flops in sales, you gotta blame Japan because they don't market. Honestly, I saw no marketing for Vanquish other than posters all across GameStop. That Shadow of the Dam, no type of marketing for that. If there was a TV promo, I didn't see it. It was probably on one time, and that was probably when I was working. You know, the one time I didn't watch TV while I was at work. Go figure. Japanese developers, they just don't market their games. That's honestly, it's not that they're irrelevant, it's just that no one fucking knows about anything. They don't know anything no one over here knows anything about these Japanese games being developed. And when they do, then it's up to the gamer to decide if they are interested in it or not. Because as we found out, like I think 2 weeks ago, Catherine has done wonders for Atlus. I think Atlus is probably the second best developer slash publisher. Definitely probably the best Japanese publisher this generation, and probably the second best Japanese developer after Nintendo. Because they just always bring it. I mean, you know, they just always bring it. Speaking of bringing it, Black Bond was talking about how not Black Bond, sorry, Icy Rhythms. He was saying that Japan is being I don't really know, rivaled per se. Rival, like every Japanese franchise or genre that Japan has pretty much owned in is being rivaled by the West. You know, Forza with GT, and he gave all these other examples. If you haven't seen it, go watch the video. There will not be a link in the description. Just type in his name and you'll be able to find his recent video, so it should not be that hard. Oh gosh, I had a point I was going with this. Oh man. Fuck. Don't you hate that when you have a point and then you lose it? And I completely lost my point on that one. Oh man. Oh, here it was. Fighters. Okay, he brought up Mortal Kombat. I said, look, Mortal Kombat, as great as a game as it is, it took 9, I had to count. It took 9 entries. 9 entries, official entries, for it to be recognized by the tournament scene. 9 entries for one game? It took 2 for Street Fighter. It took probably up to Tekken 3, and what, Tekken 3. It took, look, Mortal Kombat, as good as a game as it is not going to topple the fighting genre. The West is not automatic. Oh my goodness, going to topple the fighting genre. Like, it might have opened the doors for a couple more American developers to go do something, but it's not going to top. It's not going to do that. BlazBlue just came out this generation, and it's already being played in tournaments. I don't see any other American developer doing that. Shoot, and honestly, I don't think Americans have an understanding of how a fighter should work. Maybe I'm just saying. I mean, unless they play a bunch of fighters and want to make their own, then sure. But you know, it's whatever. But is Japan relevant? Yes. And I don't like the word relevant either, or irrelevant, because irrelevant just makes it seem, you take out the word irrelevant, and another synonym for that for me is Japan, like, does anybody even give a fuck about Japan? It's like, yeah, people do give a fuck about Japan. They're just not as prominent as they used to be. It's like in football. It's like, does anybody really care about, does anybody really care about Dallas? Some people do. Some people don't give a fuck about Dallas, but they're not as prominent as they used to be, and I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I think I can literally say that. And this video is kind of all over the place, like all my other videos, because I never write anything down. But is Japan relevant? Yes. Are they as prominent as they used to be? No. Why? Because they don't market their games, not even the quirky ones. They don't market their games, and they're stuck in last generation mindset. They do not want to advance, and when they do want to advance, they want to copy the exact thing that the West is doing. And that just does not work. It does not work. It works in the West. Example, Dante's Inferno and God of War. It works in the West, but it does not work for Japan, because Japan just has not worked like that. So those are my thoughts, and I will have another video coming up soon. This has been another video by I Am Mr. Squared. Take care, folks.